Hello, I'm back. Alright, this is going to be my back-to-back review, doing chapter 26 now. And this chapter, I have to say, has probably one of my favorite quotations. It reminds me actually of my favorite quotation ever that really made me, feel the moment a lot. So I'll get into what I'm talking about. So basically, there's some things I missed out in my last chapter I wanted to talk about, like about how there's like a really intense moment of, PETA basically was suffering a lot on the cornucopia after Cato died. He had a wound, and Katniss had to like really cover that wound and make sure he stays alive, because he was on the verge of death, and there was like 12 hours of constantly hearing Cato scream and suffer, and they were going insane, and she was worried about, the whole time she's staying awake because she doesn't want PETA to die, and she has to listen to, Cato, and she's going crazy in her head. She is losing it, and so much crazy intense moments going on, and that was a really intense scene, and we really see, because the theme of the Hunger Games, not the book, but inside the actual story, the Hunger Games, like the games themselves, the themes are always like, it's dark and it's violent and it's really brutal, and it's really showed in that moment, and especially with Katniss, this is where Katniss breaks. And I actually feel sorry for Katniss. I feel sorry for anyone that had to go through this in real life. This is where Katniss breaks. This is where everything about Katniss ceases to function normally. She's already kind of weird. Remember, Katniss always suppresses her feelings, so she's not really aware of her own feelings. Right here, her feelings are out on the table, and she is so in such a turmoil about her feelings for PETA, the Capitol, and Gale. There's so many things going on. There's death, Rue. Things are, she's 16 years old, and there's a lot of shit getting pounded on her that is so real. This is things that, the Holocaust members, had to deal with. This is actually where the quote's coming from. I don't know if she knew about the quote or not, but this is where it comes from. She says, I'll start with the Hunger Games quote. She says, "And now I know." Okay. "I startle when I catch someone staring at me from only a few inches away, and then I realize it's my own face reflecting back in the glass. Wild eyes, hollow cheeks, my hair entangled rapid, mad. No wonder everyone is keeping a safe distance from me." And Pharrell. Okay, so basically she's seeing herself in the mirror, and I think that's a really powerful moment to see her look in the mirror and not recognize who she's looking at. Like, she's become something else. Like the real human, the instincts, the deepest part of Katniss is revealed, and she can't even recognize it. And I actually want to read a quote if I can. It'll be interesting, I promise. It's a memoir of the Holocaust. This guy, and he's a Jew, obviously, and he wrote this book called Night. The quote is basically this: "One day I was able to get up. After gathering all my strength, I wanted to see myself in the mirror hanging on the opposite wall. I had not seen myself since the ghetto, which is, before they went to the, the Holocaust. Before he went to the camps." And he says, "From the depths of the mirror, a corpse gazed back at me. The look in his eyes as they stared into mine has never left me." That's a really powerful quote, and that's always stuck with me. I think that, what that guy felt in that moment of, like, holy shit, what am I looking at? I'm not, when you look at yourself in the mirror, I look at myself in this camera, I see myself right there. I can only imagine going through something like this and seeing myself. It's like, whoa, things have changed. Like, that's the moment where Katniss realizes that things have changed. I know that this means a lot to me. This is a really powerful quote, and I appreciate it a lot. I think that's really done well, and Suzanne Collins really did a good job. So I know that I'm bringing this up, but I'm just saying that this is a really important moment, and I think this is going to reflect way later in the next few books of how Katniss is basically going to be breaking. I think that Katniss is going to be on a steady heel down of, because she's going to be suffering. And I actually feel sorry for Katniss, so I'm actually not going to blame Katniss so much for for all her illogicalness, because, you know, from here on out, it's understandable for her to be fucked up in the head, because this is pretty serious, everything that's happened. And then let's talk about there's this mysterious person that's looking out for her in the distance. You know, she says that I can hear someone calling out for me or whatever, blah blah blah. It's not in a capital accent, and it kind of reminds me of home, basically. That's not a direct quotation, but you know, it's weird because I think she would say that Haymitch, she would recognize his voice, but she doesn't say that. I think it's probably supposed to be her father. She's dreaming of her father. You know, she's dreaming of her father comforting her and looking out for her beyond the grave, or something like that. Maybe, I'm not sure. It could just be Haymitch. You know, but I don't know. That'd be interesting. Maybe that mysterious person will be revealed later. Who knows? It's kind of funny that, you know, this next part, you know, basically she gets reunited finally. She's basically been in surgery this whole time, and as soon as she got into the ship, I forgot to mention that, you know, she was just pounding on the doors, making sure Peeta's okay. She was basically a wild animal at the time. She was going crazy. And seriously, I appreciate this moment so much. I can't help it. This is a moment where this is the reason why I read books, because they have moments in these where I actually can see and feel this moment so intensely. Just how Katniss, she is in such. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop this because I've been talking about it for 5 minutes. But seriously, I appreciate it a lot. Okay, I think that's done well. I'm sorry. All right. Okay. But this is funny. I like how when they reunite, you know, Haymitch and all that, Katniss immediately runs up to Haymitch and gives him a big hug. I think that's awesome. Katniss and Haymitch's relationship is kind of like a relationship between like a creepy uncle, you know, like the creepy uncle that you're still cool with. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, I think it's interesting. You know, I think the relationship really, I like it, and I like how even though they kind of say, "Oh, I don't like you," but we still like each other. Yeah, we're good, but I don't like you. Okay, I don't know. It's kind of funny. Anyway, so then, you know, her reuniting with Cena is a little questionable to me. Look, I've already said this before in my video called "Cena's a Pedophile." Yeah, Cena in Katniss' relationship is questionable, at the least. Cena's definitely a pedophile. Second of all, I don't understand why Katniss likes Cena. You know what I'm saying? Cena, I understand that Cena's kind of kept her alive, or kept her, you know, with the outfits and things, but why do you like Cena? You just like what he does. I don't know, but somehow she's like really likes him and considers him a friend. She didn't even consider Gale a friend. Just keep that in mind, okay? Alright, let's sink in. I mean, now she considers Gale a friend, but before, remember, she just considered him a hunting buddy. So, let's go ahead and just keep that in mind, alright? And that's why I just get a little iffy about Cena, you know, a little weirdo. And then we learned that the hospital is way far underground. I don't understand. Oh, no, never mind. Spoiler. Chapter 27 only. Sorry. I'll do that in my next review. So yeah, she's lost weight, obviously, and it's kind of funny they actually wanted to give Katniss a boob job, which I thought was hilarious. I don't know. I just think that's funny. But anyway, let's talk about something. There's like this ominous feeling. There's this. Oh, first I want to talk about how she, you know, the three stylists. I can't remember. She called them like a flock of birds or something like that. Whenever they talked about the Hunger Games, see, we get to see a glimpse of what the Capitol people actually do, like talk about the Hunger Games. Like, you would think that maybe they think it's a little messed up too, and maybe they're not allowed to say anything. And it's funny that they didn't even talk about the moments in the Hunger Games, just talked about where they were and everything. But it makes me think that it could mean that the Capitol people are just so oblivious and are just like, they're so absorbed in themselves, or it could mean that the Capitol people are kind of like, oh, you know, we really don't, I don't want to talk about how this kid got murdered, so I'll pretend that I liked it, I'll talk about this. I don't know. Maybe secretly deep down they don't enjoy it, and maybe that's why they say it. I don't know. It could be. I like to explore all the possibilities. Keep that in your mind. So anyway. So there's like this ominous feeling going around that, you know, we don't really know for sure if Peeta's alive or dead. It is mentioned a little bit later, but you know, there's still something else going on, and Katniss, you know, senses it, of course. Yeah, it's really kind of the, you know, the author trying to, you know, tell you that something's going on. And then, you know, everything seems okay and well, and then whenever they're on stage, you know, Haymitch pulls Katniss closer to give her a hug and everything, and he pulls her close real quick, and he starts talking really fast. He's like, hey, you need to watch out. The Capitol's after your ass. They're going to kill you. You made them look like a joke and everything, and they're really mad at that and whatever, and they may punish you. And shit just got incredibly real, and that leaves it for the next book, basically, about how, you know, basically, she says here, and right now the most dangerous part of the Hunger Games is about to begin. I like that. And she's like, it's much worse than being hunted in an arena. Now her family's involved, and that sucks. But you know, it's weird that, you know, that's the end. You know, that was how it ended, basically. Shouldn't that end right there? You know, the dangerous part about the Hunger Games is about to begin. ... But instead, it just goes into the next chapter. And okay, I'll review chapter 27. But the way chapter 27 ends, the last chapter, is just very like, what? That's it? You know, like, it should have ended right here. Like, this would make more sense. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe she's like, hey, I gotta finish my quota. I'll add some, like, 5 pages in there. I don't know. So, I will review chapter 27 right now, because I have time. And you're gonna have to listen to it. So, okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to wrap this up. Okay, I'm trying to get this over with. Okay, I'm sorry. Alright, actually, no, I probably shouldn't, because I think I have to reread this, because I kind of forget. Because there's some interesting things that are going on in this. Okay, this is the end of the review. I'm sorry. Look, okay, if you're going to bitch at me because my review is not planned out and fancy, well, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm only human. Alright, so anyway, that's my review. I'm going to go to bed. Good night. Okay.